Welcome back everybody, I am the Programmer, and I'm here to teach you everything you need to know as a developer to actually land a job. In the last video we talked about data types and variables, and I shortly touched on the topic of mathematical operations that you can kind of use the console as a calculator. Well, today we're going to jump a bit deeper into this topic, so if you're ready, put on your favorite tank top, grab yourself some steroids, I mean protein shake, and let's get started. Alright, so we're gonna start off by going to the console. So we're gonna right click, inspect, and go right to console. And we're just going to clean this stuff up, console.clear, hit enter, and there we go. So, there are a number of basic mathematical operations that you need to be aware of, right? Most of them are not very complicated. I assume you know basic math watching this video, so this shouldn't be very complicated. The first one is, of course, addition. I'm going to say console log, I'm going to say 2 plus 2, that's going to be 4. There you go. The same thing with subtraction, right? If I'm going to say console.log and I'm going to say 4 minus 2, that's going to be 2. Very easy. The next one is division. If I'm going to say console.log, I'm going to say 20 divided by 5. We just use the slash symbol to do that. And there we go. Then you have 4. You can also multiply by simply using the little star symbol we have. 4 times 5. That's going to be 20. We can also use 2 star symbols. Then you're going to use exponentiation. So 2 to the power of 3. Wait, hold on, that needs to be a double one. There we go. 2 to the power of 3. And we're going to clean this up. We're going to run this, and it's going to be 8. Very straightforward. Now, there's one operator that is a bit confusing for people when they first start out coding. You probably haven't heard of this one. If you have, then props on you. But this is called the modulus. And I'm just going to demonstrate what it does. If I'm going to say console.log and I'll say 3 modulus, it's a percentage sign, 3, then the result is going to be 1. So what's happening here? Well, what's going on is that 10 is going to be divided by 3 as often as it can, but at one point there's going to be some stuff left over, right? And the number that's going to be left over, that's the modulus. In this case, you're going to divide 10 by 3, right? 1, 2, 3 times. That's going to be 10 minus 9, and you're left with 1. If I'm going to do the very same thing, and I'm going to say 9 modulus 3, it's going to be 0, right? Because there's nothing left over. There are no leftovers. And why is this helpful? Well, you can use this in multiple cases. You can have an example where you want to figure out if you're dealing with an even number or an uneven number. So if it's divisible by 2 perfectly, then that's going to be an even number. If you're going to have some stuff left over, then it's going to be an uneven number. Those would be one of the use cases, right? So keep that one in mind. We also have increments and decrements. And what those are, I'm going to show you right now. Let's say I make a variable. Let number, actually don't use number, let's just keep things short. Let n be 5. Now if I'm going to log n, it's going to be 5, of course. But let's say you want to increase n by 1. What you can do is say, well, I can say n is going to be n plus 1. And that's going to be 6. Now there's another way to do that. You can say n plus equals 1. And then you're going to get 7. So instead of having to repeat the n multiple times, right, saying n is equal to n plus 1, you're just going to skip the n and you're just going to say n plus equals 1. It's already inserting the n there. It's keeping your code shorter, more maintainable, and that's what we want. Now there's an even shorter way to do that. And this is what we call increments. N plus, come on, plus, plus, there we go. N plus plus. This is when we increment n. And it's going to be nothing right now. But if we're gonna cancel log n, it's going to be 8. Because we did n plus plus. It's an operation. You're pretty much saying, okay, we're gonna do n plus 1, like we did earlier. Those are 3 different ways in order to do n plus 1, pretty much, right? So we can also do the exact same thing, but with the minus operator. That's when we're going to decrement n. So if I'm gonna take n, and I'm gonna say n is equal to n minus 1, then it's going to be our previous number minus 1. Of course, that's what we expect. Now we can do the very same thing by, you guessed it, n minus equal 1. And that's going to be 6. There you go. And as you can probably guess, if we want to decrement instead of increment, we're just gonna say n minus minus. And now, if we're going to cancel log n, you're gonna have 5. And those are the basic mathematical operations that you need to be aware of. There's going to be some more in the future that are going to be a bit more complicated. But for now, these are the most basic, fundamental things that you need to know. And these are the things that you're going to use most of the time if you're going to do some mathematical operations. So, hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you in the next one. Take care, God bless, and goodbye.